He wasn't sure he was going to go up, so that's good. We had to get our beverages to go because.
Call this meeting of the Common Council to order. Roll call, please.
Alderwoman Meyer. Here. Susie.
Here.
Miller.
Here.
Randall.
Here.
Lars.
Here.
Kelly.
Here.
Kraus.
Here.
Horn.
Here.
Thank you. This time we'll entertain public participation. Anyone wishing to address the council may do so. We ask that you state your name and address for the record. Seeing no one, move on to number 3 and adjourn to a public hearing on the proposed amendment to section 17.04 parent 2B of the municipal code of the city of Jefferson related to the rezoning of 345 to 347 East Racine Street, Jefferson, also known as the Jefferson Cafe lot. I'll call this public hearing to order and ask the city administrator to please read the notice of public hearing.
Notice is hereby given that the Common Council of the City of Jefferson will hold a public hearing in the council chambers of the Jefferson City Hall, 317 South Main Street, Jefferson, Wisconsin, on 20 August 2019 at 7 p.m. to hear the following rezoning request regarding zoning change of 345, 347 East Racine Street from R1 Single Family Residential District to the zoning designation of BHN Highway and Neighborhood Business District. The notice of public hearing was published on 6 August and again on 13 August in the Jefferson Daily Union. All interested persons are encouraged to attend.
Thank you, Tim. I'll turn to City Engineer Bill Pinnell for an explanation of the zoning change request.
Thank you, Mayor. BHN Highway and Neighborhood Business District is established to provide convenient shopping goods and services to a local neighborhood area and traveling public. A restaurant in this case is an approved use under the BHN district.
Thank you. Now, any persons wishing to be heard, please state your name and address and reason for appearing. Sonny, would you care to offer any comments?
Any questions?
Welcome.
I'm happy. I think this was in my interest. Also, the city, it's cleaned out. It looks better. It's clean, visual. Street parking, it's less. So that was really my big concern, as people are parking on that small part of the parking lot. And it was really expensive parking lot too. A little bit cheaper. So I see still bad habits go back. People parking on the street, but it's very less.
Yeah.
And by coming in and out was always in my mind, and I don't want anybody to see get hurt in that section.
Good.
Any questions? I'm happy to answer you.
That's good.
Looks very good.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thanks. Anyone else? Hearing none, I'll close the public hearing and move on to proposed ordinance number 6-19. An ordinance to amend section 319B of the municipal code of the city of Jefferson related to the rezoning of 345 to 347 East Racine Street, Jefferson. Alderman Peachy, please.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor Upperman, fellow council members, and citizens of Jefferson. City of Jefferson proposed ordinance 6-19. The Common Council of the City of Jefferson, Wisconsin do ordain as follows. Section 1, Section 300-19B of the zoning map, City of Jefferson, Wisconsin, which is herein made a part, is amended to change district boundaries of 345 to 347 East Racine Street, R-1 Single Family Residential District to zoning designation of BHN Highway and Neighborhood Business District. Description is east of 49.5 feet of Lot 12, Block 3, Sanborn and Barber's Addition. Parcel number is 241-0614-0244-112. Address 345 to 347 East Racine Street. Proposed permanent zoning designation BHN Highway Neighborhood Business District. Section 2, this ordinance shall take effect and be in full force after passage and publication as provided by law, and notification and attestation of the district boundary changes incorporated herein, the zoning map, City of Jefferson. This is second reading. I would so move.
It's been moved. Is there a second? Second by Alderman Kraus. And discussion? We've had a few comments so far. Anyone else care to weigh in?
It is a lot easier to park. My husband and I went there Sunday, and it definitely is easier to park.
Great, looks wonderful. Great, anyone else? Hearing no one, all in favor of the proposed ordinance change, please signify by saying aye as Sarah calls your name. No if you're opposed.
Alderman Peachy.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Randall.
Aye.
Lars.
Aye.
Tully.
Aye.
Kraus.
Aye.
Horn.
Aye.
Fire. Aye.
It's unanimous. Thank you. Thank you, Sonny. Thanks for your investment. Next, we'll adjourn to a public hearing on the proposed amendment to section 17.04, parent 2B of the municipal code of the city of Jefferson related to the operation of wineries. Call this public hearing to order and ask Administrator Freitag to please read the notice of public hearing.
Notice is hereby given that the Common Council of the City of Jefferson will hold a public hearing in the council chambers of the Jefferson City Hall, 317 South Main Street, Jefferson, Wisconsin, on 20 August 2019 at 7 p.m. to hear the following proposed amendment to modify Chapter 300 of the City of Jefferson Municipal Code concerning the operation of wineries. The notice was published in the August 6th and August 30th editions of the Jefferson Daily Union. All interested parties are encouraged to attend the public hearing and submit either oral or written comments. Generally speaking, Mayor, the reason that we're doing this is that currently our downtown zoning district, the BC district, doesn't provide for the operation of a brew pub or winery as either a permitted or conditional use. This has the effect of basically adding it to the code as a conditional use. The winery that we're talking about opening downtown would then have to apply for a conditional use should this change be made. And lastly, the 50,000 gallon standard that appears in the text of the ordinance, that kind of ties to a licensing requirement by the State Department of Revenue. Under 50,000 gallons is one license. If someone produces over 50,000, it's a different licensing standard, and that's why, I think, Chris, we tied it to the $50,000 mark.
Yes. That tied it in with a certain permit from the state of Wisconsin.
Okay. Bill, did you have anything to add to that?
No, I do not.
Okay. At this time, any persons wishing to be heard, we would welcome that input. Please state your name, address, and reason for appearing. Seeing no one, we'll close the public hearing and move on to proposed ordinance number 7-19, an ordinance to modify Chapter 300 of the City of Jefferson Municipal Code concerning the operation of wineries and brew pubs. Alderwoman Byer, please.
Honorable Mayor, council members, and citizens, City of Jefferson proposed ordinance 7-19, an ordinance to modify Chapter 300 of the City of Jefferson Municipal Code concerning the operation of wineries. The Common Council of the City of Jefferson, Wisconsin hereby ordains as follows. Section 1, 300-30, Parent P, is created to read as follows. Operation of the brew pub or winery in a BC business district with the limitation that no more than 50,000 gallons of product are manufactured in a given calendar year. Section 2, this ordinance shall take effect after passage, publication, and attestation as required by law. I would so move.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Brandel. Any discussion? This is a second reading, and it was endorsed by the Plan Commission since your first reading. Are there any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor of approval, please signify by saying aye as Sarah calls your name. No if you're opposed.
Alderman Miller.
Aye.
Randall.
Aye.
Lars.
Aye.
Kelly.
Aye.
Kraus.
Aye.
Horn.
Aye.
Fire. Aye. Peachy.
Aye.
It's unanimous. Thank you. Proposed ordinance number 8-19, an ordinance to repeal and replace section 270-1, parent E of the municipal code concerning sales in the public right-of-way. First reading, Alderman Horn, please.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor, council members, and citizens of Jefferson. City of Jefferson proposed ordinance 8-19. The Common Council of the City of Jefferson, Wisconsin here ordains as follows. Section 1. Section 270-1, sales in public right-of-way is hereby repealed in its entirety and amended to include the following. Subsection 270-1, Parent E, this section does not apply to the following events: farmers markets, Gemütlichkeit days, Autumn Fest, Holiday Parade of Lights, Santa House Hours, and National Night Out. This ordinance shall take effect after passage, publication, and attestation as required by law. It's the first reading.
Thank you. Next, we'll move on to an update on J-Stops, and welcome Jen Pennell, Executive Director of the Jefferson Chamber of Commerce. Welcome, Jen.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I am excited to introduce to you the J-Stops. They're finally here. And I have to give kudos to the committee who worked on this, Bill Brandel, Vicki Schicker, Ellen Waldmer, and myself. Worked long and hard to figure out which historical aspects of the city we wanted to highlight, and these were the top 10 for the first round. They'll be installed with the help of Public Works by the end of the month. Yeah, okay.
That's next week, kiddo.
That's next week, yeah, exactly.
I thought the
Yeah.
end of the month sounded
Yeah.
better.
As long as the chamber tells me where they go.
I have to tell you, I'm thrilled with the way they turned out. Michael Sines did an amazing job. The people who have come in first of all, let me back up. It was like Christmas last week when I got to open them. They were all wrapped up, so I got to line them up, and it was like, like playing with my toys on the day after Christmas. I just stared at them because they did such an amazing job, and anybody who's come in my office since then have just walked right to them and really enjoyed reading them and looking at the photos. And I actually had a meeting with Discover Wisconsin last week to talk about something completely different, and she went right to the paddles and she said, "These are so cool. This looks like something that would be in the Dells." I'm like, yes. So I think we hit the paddle on the head. Anyway, thank you. I'm thrilled with the way that they turned out. So I just want to say thank you, and then we will look on to the next phase. Any questions?
Do you want to show how this is going to be laid out or
Oh,
rolled
I'm
out?
sorry, yes. Okay, there will eventually be a city tour brochure and those kinds of things, a walking tour, but we really want to hit it hard with social media. This is just a first round. This is not the official video, but here we go.
That they're in front of, and you can read about it as well.
Oh, that's
And then you
not
can walk
the-
around
that's not
Jefferson
the
and find
beginning.
all 10, and they're, like I said, they're
Sorry
downtown.
about that. All right.
Hi, I'm in downtown Jefferson, excited to show off the new J-Stops. You can find these on Main Street, Racine Street, and on some of the side streets too. What's really exciting is you'll be able to see them because the J-Stop, but what's cool is on the back side. It gives a history of the building that they're in front of, and you can read about it as well. And then you can walk around Jefferson and find all 10, and they're, like I said, they're downtown, and then you can get to know the history as well as meet some people around the community as well. Make sure you're taking selfies with them and posting them on Facebook, all that good stuff. Because you know what? We'd love to see you jaywalking in Jefferson. Hi, I'm in downtown
That's
Jefferson.
corny.
I was jaywalking if I had
J-Stop. No ticket, go ahead.
So we really want to have some fun with it and make sure that people are interacting and, like I said, having a good time.
Selfie of a chief jaywalker.
That would be awesome.
Bad example.
We'll get you on the drone.
Oh, yeah, there you
Just
go.
as he's hit by a truck.
Busted.
I'm well insured.
That's a relief. Again, that was just a first take. We'll be hyping up the business aspect of it too to make sure that we're drawing people downtown to visit our restaurants and businesses. So thank you.
Any
A
questions?
couple questions. So then, from the road, you will see the J-Stop part, and this will be on the inside, or how will it look?
So if I'm driving this way, you're gonna see the J-Stop back
Okay.
there, so that way I can come, when I'm walking, I can read it.
Okay,
Yeah, they're not gonna swivel like in the video.
okay.
I thought that might be kind of cool after a while.
Perpendicular to the face of the front of the buildings.
Oh, okay. So, I
Read
mean,
them as you walk by.
right, and you'll see the other side as you're driving by. Yep. Okay, what is the durability of what's on there? I mean, like sun damage, all that. Are we gonna have to replace them eventually, or?
You know what, I was gonna say, I need
Yeah,
replacing.
but what's the lifespan
I
on
wanna
it?
say it was,
The conversation that we had with Michaels on this was, we asked those questions. Obviously, these are pretty heavy duty as far as the quality of the signs or metal signs, if you take a look at them. From what I understand, it is a UV coating on the front of it. So I would expect that we would hopefully get 5 to 10 years out of these.
Okay,
I guess one of the things we have to determine is whether or not we want to keep them in for the winter. Or if
yeah,
we want
yeah.
to take them out for the winter, that's something that we can discuss, but I think based on the quality that they should last us well into the future here.
Yeah, and I'm thinking then you anchor them into the concrete or the sidewalk or
Correct.
whatever?
Depending on what location, I already talked with Dave, we'll be anchoring them into the concrete. Depending on exactly where they're going to go, we may have to come up with a different configuration if we don't have concrete sidewalk in front of it, but my guys will take care of that.
I'm just concerned, like, if snow plowing and shoveling, I don't want to see a snow plow take one of these. You may want to take them out during the wintertime.
Well, and these would be end up being closer to the buildings, like downtown. They're not going to be out on the edge of the curb or anything like that. They're going to be up closer to the building. But no, that's one of the things we want to make sure that they do last. So we'll just have to discuss this as far as whether or not they come in for the winter or how we handle that.
Sounds good.
Anyone else? Great job, Jen.
All right, thank you.
Keep up the good work. Thank you. Next, we'll move on to resolution number 33, tonight's consent agenda. Alderman Tully, please.
Thank you, Mayor. City of Jefferson, resolution number 33, be it resolved by the Common Council of the City of Jefferson, Wisconsin, that the consent agenda for August 20th, 2019 is hereby adopted. A, vouchers payable for August 2019 in the amounts of $400,143.28. Payroll summary for August 16th, 2019 in the amount of $173,854.64. B, we had council minutes from August 6th, 2019 of the Common Council. C, street closure for the St. Mark's Church picnic. D, we approved the street closure for Rock Bottom Express on September 15th, 2019. And E, we had licenses as approved by the Regulatory Committee. We had operators licenses and no special class B licenses. I would so move.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Lars.
Yeah,
Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of approval, please signify by saying aye as Sarah calls your name. No if you're opposed.
Alderman Brandel.
Aye.
Lars.
Aye.
Tully.
Aye.
Kraus.
Aye.
Horn.
Aye.
Fire.
Aye.
Peachy.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Thank you. It's unanimous. Next, we'll move on to resolution number 34, a resolution to hire a part-time civilian reserve officer. Alderman Lars, please.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor, fellow council members, citizens of Jefferson, City of Jefferson, resolution number 34. Whereas Police Chief Pileggi has taken steps to fill a vacant position in the police department for a part-time civilian reserve officer, and whereas the open position were publicly advertised and interviews were conducted with potential candidates, and whereas the Police Chief Pileggi is recommending that Nicholas Cervantes be hired by the City of Jefferson to fill the vacant position, and whereas the Personnel Committee, having reviewed the qualifications of Nicholas Cervantes and the recommendations of Chief Pileggi, who is also recommending the hire of Nicholas Cervantes to the Common Council, and whereas the Chief of Police has part-time civilian reserve officer funds allocated in his 2019 approved operating budget, and that the part-time civilian reserve officer is to replace a current vacancy in the part-time civilian reserve officer staff. Now therefore be it resolved by the Common Council of the City of Jefferson, Wisconsin, that the Chief of Police is authorized to hire Nicholas Cervantes effective Wednesday, August 21st, 2019, as a part-time civilian reserve officer for the City of Jefferson Police Department. The initial rate of pay shall be $12 per hour pursuant to the 2019 City of Jefferson non-represented pay resolution. I so move.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Miller. On discussion? Chief?
Nicholas is a very sharp young man. I'm really glad that he applied. This will put us to 6 civilian reserve officers, which is what council approved. Initially, this is actually kind of a milestone. This is the first time we have 6 civilian reserve officers, which is great. He hails from Janesville, 23-year-old young man. Will graduate from Blackhawk in 2020 with a degree in criminal justice, and there's no doubt this young man will be a police officer. He's that sharp. I hope one day I'm bringing him to you guys as a part-time officer with the luck we've had lately. So I appreciate the consideration. I'm excited for you guys to meet him when he's out in the Springfield.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions of Chief?
This was unanimous at personnel earlier.
Thank you. There are no other questions or comments? All in favor of approval, please signify by saying aye as Sarah calls your name. No if you're opposed.
Alderman Lars.
Aye.
Tully.
Aye.
Kraus.
Aye.
Horn.
Aye.
Fire.
Aye.
Peachy.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Randall.
Aye.
It's unanimous.
Thank you very
Chief,
much.
thank you. This time I'll entertain a motion to adjourn to closed session pursuant to section 19.85, parent E of the Wisconsin State Statutes to discuss a business prospect.
Would it be all right if we tabled this, Tim? You okay to go through with it?
We got to do it.
Okay. So moved.
Okay, it's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Brandel. On a roll call, all in favor signify by saying aye as Sarah calls your name.
Alderman Tully.
Aye.
Kraus.
Aye.
Horn.
Aye.
Fire. Aye. Peachy.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Randall.
Aye.
Lars.
Aye.
Thank you. We will be reconvening, but we will not be doing any more business this evening. Thank you and have a good night.